talk about how we make money out of these things. And there's 2 case studies, Total Drama Island, which I made a lot of money out of, and Racecraft, which I hope to make a lot of money out of. So Serious Lunch, Digital Biscuit, there's a joke in there somewhere, but I can't find it. I produce largely brands because the second knock-on effect of the proliferation of platforms is that people are looking for brands, because otherwise they can't find your project. So you'll see people are bringing back the clangers, they're making Thunderbirds, I'm bringing back the Wombles, you know, because you've got so much noise out there, people are going back to brands. So the way of exploiting these things in 360 is really the only chance of the independent producer to really make a stand. So yeah, there's the Wombles. Horrible Science is the next one up with Ben Miller for ITV. Another science show. I've got a big science thing going on. Another science show, Okido, the little blue chap in the bottom corner there, came from a magazine made on the kitchen table. Going to be on CBeebies in September. And finally, my latest project, Tien Mo, which came from Plug-in Media. And this is the first project I've done that started as a digital project. It's 10 games and 10 shorts on CBeebies, and they've now been commissioned to make a 57-minute episode, and I'm trying to raise the funds for that. These things cost like £5 million each. It's really hard. You know, you've got to try and find that money from every source you possibly can. And once it's up there, you need to be able to keep it there. And digital is really the only way to do that, unless you are Disney or Cartoon Network or one of the majors. So prior to Serious Lunch, I had Cake, which I sold. I've got a food theme going on here. I think my last company is going to be called Nightcap. I sort of set this company up in my spare bedroom, and I sold it in 2010 to a Spanish company called Zinkia. We made Ebb and Flow, which was voiced by Fiona Shaw, Edgar and Ellen for Nickelodeon, Chicago-based company, King Arthur's Disasters with the late, great Rick Mayall and Matt Lucas, and finally Skunk Fu with your very own Cartoon Saloon, who are up for an Oscar now with Song of the Sea. Let's hope they win next month. So I sweated away on making all these shows and raising all this money. And what made me money is the thing I picked up for nothing that nobody else wanted. And it was the world's first animated reality show for tweens. So it just goes to show you don't know where these things are coming from. And this is what really sort of converted me to the digital space. It was called Total Drama Island. There were 26 contestants, 2 teams, taken to an island to fight it out in battles, in trials, which were echoed in online games. So each time an episode went up, you've got to throw yourself off the cliff into a pool of sharks, as Owen is doing there in the top right-hand corner, and then the game would appear online. And initially, I couldn't give it away. I mean, it was like, what are we going to do with Total Drama Island? And by the end, it represented 90% of our company's £7 million turnover. And when it wasn't really commissioned, I thought, this is time to bail. But it is all about, it was all about capturing the young audience who were online at the same time as watching the TV show, and persuading them that they could be part of it and integral to it. The other property I'm going to talk about is Animal Vegetable Mineral, which is a company that I'm a shareholder in, who've been developing new technology, augmented reality technology, which enables people to create mixed reality game shows where their creations online are projected into the studio, and they are the first company to be able to project, to shoot HD from within the Unity game platform. And we'll talk a little bit more about their Racecraft project in a minute. So this is the promo, which again we did for the Emmys, like Leona, so excuse the very American orientation. And this explains the interactive part. Oh. How do we play the movie contained here? What am I doing wrong?
In the spring of 2006, Xenophile Media was approached by Fresh Animation, the producers of the highly successful animated TV series 16 and Teletoon Canada, to create an interactive experience to extend the brand of the new series Total Drama Island. The 26-part animated television series for tweens is a comedy that showcases all the elements of our favorite reality TV shows within the framework of an exciting, larger-than-life elimination competition. Total Drama Island focuses on 22 teenagers who have been sent to summer camp on a deserted island where they are forced to endure increasingly insane challenges. In each episode, during a dramatic bonfire ceremony, one camper is eliminated and forced to walk the dock of shame. To meet the challenge of creating an experience that would keep viewers with the Total Drama Island brand between broadcasts, Xenophile proposed Total Drama Island Totally Interactive as an immersive, interactive experience created in the look and feel of the series that allows viewers to animate themselves and become contestants in weekly online challenges, competing against each other for the opportunity to see their customized avatar appear in the season finale of Total Drama Island. Viewers of the series were directed online via on-air promos and were greeted by the following introduction.
Hey campers, welcome to Total Drama Island, totally interactive, where you can compete to see your very own customized avatar appear in the final episode of Total Drama Island. Register now and create your own camper. Meet up and hang out with the contestants on the beach. Play a gnarly new game each week based on the challenges from the TV series. Keep your peepers on that leaderboard. The top 22 players at the end of all the challenges will be entered into the Totally Slammin' Grand Prize draw. Earn marshmallows during the games and use them to collect some sick prizes. You can even get some awesome weekly tabloids delivered right to your inbox that feature your camper and other headlines from the show. All this and much more on Total Drama Island, totally interactive. Sign up now and let the competition begin.
Following registration, visitors to the site begin their experience on the beach, where all the show's contestants are hanging out.
Okay, let's just
By rolling your mouse over a specific character, users can trigger their customized action and catchphrase.
Okay.
Clicking on the character will open their bio page, where one can read exclusive content created specifically for the interactive experience by the series writers. Each week, after a character is eliminated on air, their character fades into the background on the site. Visitors can access the remainder of the site via two methods: the pervasive navigation bar, or visually by exploring the beach and clicking on the icons that represent the different areas of the site. First-time visitors to the site initially head for the outhouse, where they can create and customize their own camper avatar and name. Using dozens of facial variables and colors, visitors create their desired character as if they are themselves looking into the mirror, watching their Total Drama Island persona come to life. Visitors can return to the outhouse as often as they like to further customize their avatar. The games board is the heart of the interactive experience. Here, each week, a new Flash game is released that corresponds to the challenge viewers just saw on TV. Each game is represented as a Polaroid picture tacked to the events board at a summer camp. Players can roll their cursor over each pick and instantly see their highest score achieved to date, as well as the highest score achieved overall. By opening the leaderboard, users can see who the current top 22 players are, as well as where they themselves currently stand in relation to all of the registered users. By building Total Drama Island totally interactive around the framework of a competition, players were driven back to the site each week to maintain and build on their ranking, or status, on the leaderboard, a concept well known and popular with the tween demographic. In total, 26 games were built using 18 unique game engines, all of which were created using assets from the television series. Each game is introduced by the series host Chris, written and recorded as exclusive content for the interactive production using talent from the TV series. For each game, players take on the role of a featured character from TV and play multi-level games, earning both points toward their leaderboard standing and the in-game currency, marshmallows. As an example of the crossover between the television series and the interactive extension, in Week 4, viewers watched as the island contestants battle each other in a team game of dodgeball. During that episode, viewers see a lower third bumper, or promo, announcing the release of Dodgeball Desperation, a new game available online immediately following the broadcast. Viewers then go online and become players taking on the role of Duncan, battling over 6 levels of gameplay in a fun and addictive arcade-style game of dodgeball. Having played the Flash game and acquired marshmallows, players can visit the Tuck Shop, which is run by the Crazy Chef from the TV series. Here they can purchase one of the 22 custom wallpapers or one of several animated screensavers. Players can purchase items that will allow them to further customize their avatar, including hats and glasses. As another way to cater to the tween demographic's interest in collection and customization, Total Drama Island Totally Interactive features Killer Collectibles, a personalized storage area where players can purchase and collect props from the TV series. Viewers were also invited to text message their votes for surveys that appeared in lower thirds during the broadcast, with results appearing online. As another method of contacting and connecting with viewers, Total Drama Island Totally Interactive features a viral email, tabloid-style newsletter called The Wannabe Famous. The tabloid is emailed weekly to registered players and features original content that expands the world of the series along with you, the player, represented as your customized avatar. A unique headline is generated, along with your profile picture, depending on how well you did in the game. Another exciting element of this project is that numerous fan-made videos are currently populating YouTube, using almost exclusively the assets from the online production. At the end of the 26-week experience, the winning avatar, Chase Rocks, was featured in the television broadcast season finale episode.
Okay, new intern. I know it's weird that you're starting on our last show, but all of the other interns died already. All you have to do is test out this final challenge and make sure it's moderately safe.
Total Drama Island Totally Interactive was a great success, to date attracting over 250,000 users, with over 100,000 registering for the experience from the initial broadcast in French and English on the specialty TV network Teletoon in Canada only. Total Drama Island Totally Interactive was created to allow fans of the show to stay with the brand by each week immersing themselves in the world of TDI online. By using all of the series animation, its voice talent, writers and composers, Xenophile Media created a seamless transition to a fun, interactive, and addictive online experience.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, that was a bit long, but I thought it was good to see the whole thing. So, 250,000 users. We sold it into Cartoon Network US as a sticking plaster for a sort of hiatus in their acquisitions strategy, and they tried to bury it in between Ben 10 and all the other stuff that was running on there. We had, within 2 weeks, we had 3 million subscribers. The servers were falling over. Everybody was complaining, but everybody seemed to be enjoying the success. And the final episode, where the avatar is animated into the final episode, was the highest rating show of all time on Cartoon Network, and still is. So that's a proof of how you can do battle with Ben 10 or Adventure Time or all the sort of the machinery around the big majors. And of course, once it goes big in the US, then everybody else who said, I don't understand it, animated reality, what's the point of that? Everybody knows it's not real, they're already animated. So, but by the end, we were getting hate mail going, don't eliminate Shireen, of course it's already animated, it's already done, People were getting this stuff, it's like, if you eliminate Shireen, I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to kill you. It's really funny. So that suspension of belief worked. And so, from that experience, I think I've already said most of this, but from that experience, I was sort of a convert, as it were, and really sort of went out trying to find a breakthrough to this, very complicated process of producers, distributors, platforms. I have to say that if you're trying to do interactive, making an accompanying TV series is the equivalent of trying to buy advertising to the value of a 26 half-hour animated series would cost you millions of pounds. So if you've got an idea, try and incorporate a TV element into it, because that that is the fastest way of drawing eyeballs to your, to your idea. And although it is quite complicated working with the broadcasters, especially with Total Drama Island, the website had to be synchronized with the TV show. So you had to get their specific transmission dates and make sure the games were going up. And with children, it's very difficult to monetize these things because there's sensitivities around, taking money from children for watching TV shows, and the channels are very sensitive to that. So in this case, we developed a method of selling it purely on the fact that it was going to drive those ratings, and saying, look what it's done for Cartoon Network. This is what it can do for you. We will host the website, but we're going to charge you per user, and we're going to charge you to synchronize the show, and we're going to charge you to translate it into Russian, and do all of these things. And we then sort of came up a little bit against the problem that everybody thought it was very exciting and so on, but they sort of couldn't afford to succeed. So because then we put it onto other Cartoon Network channels, and what happened was that they got so many subscribers that then we sent them a bill at the end of the month, and they were like, oh my God, I can't pay that. So we then started to develop new ways of capping the amount of users that could subscribe. Typically television channels, they've got big budgets for making TV shows, but very small budgets for interactive, although that is slowly changing. But yes, it does make everyone look really clever, and if you can make your broadcaster look clever and successful, that's job done. So these are the pricing structures, how we made the money out of it. This was not by charging the public, it was by charging the TV channel to host the website to accompany the TV show. So we came up with a thing, well, if the TV show cost £5 million and the website cost £1 million, therefore, if you're paying £100,000 for the TV license, therefore, we will charge you a fifth of that amount to license the website. So there's the license fee, then there's the hosting fees, then there's the localization, so translating it into Polish, Russian, French, and so on. But the bit that was always missing was the direct-to-consumer. You've got to remember that this was 2004. So at that time, the website was everything, as you can see from that. And whereas now broadcasters are much easier to go off onto the app site. You go onto the website and it takes you straight off to the app store, and they don't mind that monetization quite so much. So this was what we came up with. The thick site, by the way, is the full site. It's a bit like pizza. There's the thick one, or you can have the thin one. You can have half thick, half thin with cheese in the crust. There was lots of different options, and so we laid out these costs so that they knew exactly what they were getting into. And if we had a cut-off point of 250,000 users, because they basically didn't have any budget beyond that, then you found the kids were sharing that subscription and sharing avatars in order to participate. Contractually, it's quite difficult. You have to have a three-way contract between the producer, the distributor, and the television platform. And that hosting template, which I just showed you in the previous slide, you have to make sure that you send them the graphics and the dialogue list before they transmit, because you've got to insert the vocal elements into the website. So if it's going out in Spanish, you need to make sure that when you're dubbing it into Spanish, you're also dubbing the website elements. And this is one of the things about digital rollouts. They tend to be in the English language, and they don't really cater for other languages, which is sort of one of the big barriers to these international brands. But if you can work in that international element into it, you'll go much further and much wider. The legal issues tend to be complicated in that you have geo-blocking and spoilers. So with this thing, it's like Big Brother. You don't want to know who's eliminated. because otherwise everybody around the world is going to find out. So you need to make sure that you're properly geo-blocked. Hosting failure, if you get success, is your platform going to fall down? Slightly different with apps, I guess now. Payments and commissions, and again this element of can't afford to succeed, which is something that has been a real barrier. The localized versions, the hosting matrix, the weekly updates, and the ratings and data to feed back are all things that will keep your broadcaster interested in putting your show in the right slot. I'm not entirely sure what this video is because I don't have the presenter tools here, but I think this is the animal, vegetable, mineral promo for Racecraft. Yes, this is the game Racecraft. So this is my latest project, and the idea is that you build your car online, test it to destruction. It's all based on physics. So if you put too much power at the engine at the front, it'll flip over. If the tires are not right, and you're going into a desert terrain, you're going to sink. And then as a progression of that game, you apply to go onto a TV game show where you get the chance that your car will feature in an online, on a TV racing show where the viewer can ghost ride alongside the racing cars. And I think the next movie is the TV show. It's actually called Raceworks here, but that sounded like Roadworks. So we changed it to Racecraft, but I haven't changed it on this promo. So Racecraft is sort of Top Gear meets Minecraft, that's it.
It's Elimination Day at the Academy, and the atmosphere is electric. First on the track for assessment is Sam Adamson, a.k.a. the Rocket Man. That's quite a vehicle he's constructed. Let's see if he can handle it. And for the facility, well, he's up against Andretti in the Mako. Today's shakedown and no-grill street race. 2,800 meters from a standing start. The car's on the grid. Way out they go from the hangar. Adamson got a top flying start there, but the Mako's run alongside him, just daring him to make a move. They're up to 100 mph. Andretti's moving up on the outside. I do have that lap sort of ace up his sleeve. Oh, this is going to be an easy victory for the instructor. There it is. Adamson's with the thruster. Oh my lordy. 140, 160, 180. The bar is awesome. Oh, but the nose is lifting. He's not going to hold it. Sweet Father of Mary. He's gone.
Driver Adamson, do you know why you bummed out?
Too much power, Chief. Not enough weight.
Well, now you know.
Again, you can't guess which market we're targeting there. What's quite interesting with this technology is that people can buy into our IP, which is Racecraft, or we can also adapt it to Hot Wheels. They can license our technology to use it for their own brands, Hot Wheels, Transformers, and so on. So there's a two-strand approach. I think, what do I have here next? Oh yes, just to say, by the way, I travelled the entire world trying to find an initial buyer for this show. I found it in Cardiff. S4C are one of the most advanced television channels in respect to digital, and also in terms of their funding. They have more funding for digital than they do for TV. Partly because they have to be different in order to attract the Welsh language viewer when they have so many other options in English. They have to get something which is really unique. And they've been pioneering second screen technology. So in this game, you build the car, you go on the TV show, you can see your car appear before you, and the viewer at home can race alongside with their car. So even if you don't win the chance to go on the TV show, you can participate. Participation is what it's all about. Again, I think this is a movie showing the technology in the studio. Can we play this one? I don't seem to be able to. Oh, no. Oh, no, we don't. This must be an earlier version of the presentation that I sent. Is there a movie within the package which is called Studio Demo? Yeah, maybe during the Q&A we can try and find it and so on. Anyway, I'm way out of time anyway, so thanks for listening.